Welcome to this training on becoming a virtual yoga teacher. I'm really excited to share this information with you because I know it's going to help so many of you that are struggling from recently graduating yoga teacher training to taking that step in teaching your first class, whether it's online or in person. And right now I'm specifically focusing on the virtual or online component because I know that's where a lot of us are at this time. So it's something that I have a lot of passion around, this virtual yoga teaching, marketing, creating graphics and videos, and it's something that I know I can share with you, all the tips and the tricks and all the behind the scenes, but we'll get to that a little bit later. My name is Ashley. I'm a yoga teacher trainer, yoga studio owner, online course creator, marketing specialist, and graphic designer. Someone just asked me recently today what my college degree was in, and it's in graphic communications, emphasis in digital design and production. Basically, I make things like this, like my workbook that if you haven't downloaded yet, you can go check out. This is one of the workbooks. It's an example of what can be found in my coaching programs or in some of my other courses. And what I do for a lot of my workshops is provide these little handouts that just add a little bit more pizzazz. And that's actually something I teach a lot of my coaching students how to do. Even things like creating a schedule, just something that I printed off. This I actually just have printed for my yoga studio, but I also put it online. But how to do that quick and efficiently. Like I said, my name is Ashley. I'm so happy that you're here and you are investing your time in doing something to help drive you forward, and that's watching this video. I'm also a pretty busy mom. Even right now, I'm trying to talk a little quieter because my son's in his bedroom sleeping. And I'll show you a little picture of what this scene looks like just so you can tell, like, I'm pretty much a normal person, oftentimes working from home. So it's nothing super fancy that I have. I just know some tips and tricks that can help nudge you on that path from yoga teacher graduate to the next steps to actually teaching. This video is for anyone who is a yoga teacher, a new yoga teacher who hasn't taught, or yoga teachers who's been teaching a while, but you want to start teaching online or supplement your income by making it an actual business rather than just something on the side that you do once in a while. So it's for those who are a little bit more serious about their yoga teaching and taking it to the next level. If you're not interested in teaching online or learning about marketing or doing the things that scare you and get you a little bit uncomfortable, or if you're not interested in mentorship or coaching or learning from experts, then this might not be for you. And that's okay. You can keep watching if you want to, but I get it if you're like, you know what, I'm good. I have exactly what I need. Cool. Then you keep doing your thing, and I wish you the best. Today I'm going to share with you the basics, the framework, the GPS to getting started as an online business as a yoga teacher. I'm going to recap some of the myths and misconceptions that some of us believe before getting started that might be holding us back. I'm also going to share again my yoga business plan, or the roadmap to creating that business, and then details about my online course and coaching program for yoga teachers to help you even further if you need somebody to be there for you, encouraging, coaching, mentoring, helping in this step-by-step process. So we'll get to that a little bit more later. If teaching online sounds a bit overwhelming to you, if your yoga teacher training never really discussed the ins and outs of teaching online, what are the differences? What technology do you need? If you feel a little bit overwhelmed by all of that and you've been asking questions online but getting very little answers from people who may or may not know what they're talking about, maybe you fear that your students won't like an online platform or that you're not able to find new students. These are all valid concerns, but I want to let you know that this totally can be for you. It is possible. Imagine that you know exactly what to do. You have the tools, you have the skills, you're able to understand booking and scheduling and all of the ins and the outs of Zoom and virtual yoga lessons. Imagine yourself knowing how that works, showing up week after week, maybe it's once, twice, 3 times a week or so, to students that absolutely love what you have to offer, where you feel so amazing by being able to be that person to share this life-giving breath of fresh air, which is yoga, mindfulness, meditation. So basically, you are changing the world. We just have to do it a little bit differently right now. And that different is through online means. Of course, everything that I teach also applies to in-person teaching. Everyone should have their own private scheduling and booking software. Everyone should have a way for their students to take payment. Everyone should know a little bit about the ins and outs of business and what it means to be a yoga entrepreneur or a yoga business. So a lot of it applies not only to yoga teachers, virtual yoga teachers, in-person yoga teachers, but anyone who's looking to step out of their comfort zone and start a business doing what they love. Now let me share a little bit more about my story and my journey as a yoga teacher and someone who teaches both online and in person. I actually became a yoga teacher in 2013. I had a fitness background as an athlete on the track team, and I also taught group fitness for about a year before I started teaching yoga. I took my yoga teacher training and immediately quit my job to pursue full-time yoga teaching. I don't recommend that at all. It was very hard and I taught a lot of classes. But what I also was building in the background was the knowledge and the skills to eventually make money in different ways, diversifying my income streams, as they say. So not just teaching group yoga classes, but I was also working towards selling online video recordings or making arts and crafts to sell on Etsy. I make yoga mat keychains. They're super cute, still in the yoga field, but it's something that's a little bit different and diversifies my income. I also am now working with YouTube and affiliate marketing and partnerships and sponsorships, but that all comes a little bit later, but that was something I've always been working on. And then when my classes started to fill and I started doing workshops and I started leading teacher trainings, one day I decided I was just going to move across the country and I had to start completely over. And it's a good thing I had invested in business building skills and professional development, and I read a lot of books, because that time of rebuilding when I moved across the country and had no one, nothing, and had no idea what I was going to do, I went full force into online yoga business building. That was back in 2018, so a couple years ago. I had the skills, I had a camera, and I had high-speed internet. I was ready to go. And you can be too. That's all you need is what you have. If you have one of these things, it's called a cell phone, you likely have everything that you need to start a yoga business and start teaching online. Of course, I had a few struggles, but I also had some really good coaching and mentors. And before I figured all of this out and how I could actually make a sustainable living while teaching yoga online, I had to stop believing these specific myths and misconceptions. I've talked about these in other videos, but let's quick recap them again, because I know how important it is to unbelieve these myths, to head in the direction of positive change. What you think shapes your future, shapes your actions. So let's go through those. The first myth or misconception that a lot of people believe is that I don't have a big audience, no one's going to join me. It's okay if you don't have a big audience, but that does not mean that no one will join you. Through some specific marketing tactics and inviting and actually personally connecting, we can find the audience. You can find the audience that wants your specific style. So this involves a little bit of niching down, and I work on that with a lot of my coaching clients and in my small group trainings, but it involves getting specific and also knowing what your message is. Myth number 2 is that there are so many teachers teaching online right now, I'm just too late. This is absolutely not true. You're probably seeing a lot of your friends as yoga teachers, and that's what, the algorithm is showing you, but a lot of others are not seeing that. And many teachers are taking a pause or deciding to use this time more so for personal development and training. So if you are feeling fulfilled and ready to put yourself out there, there is no better time than right now. You also might think that you don't have space at home or space wherever. Well, there's a lot of different ways that you can teach. And if you absolutely cannot create a space in your home to teach yoga, you could simply go out to your car, don't have the video on, and just work on your verbal cues. Often when I take a yoga class, it's mostly just the teacher that I'm listening to. I don't necessarily have to see them. There are ways around you having to be seen on a camera. As long as you are comfortable and confident-ish in your verbal cueing abilities, you should be totally fine. Yes, there are ways that you can make your space beautiful and create that environment, but it's not needed. And what's more needed is your message and your voice. You also might be thinking, there's so much free yoga, why would someone pay me? Well, the truth is, there's free everything. You can find anything that you want for free, but people will pay for shortcuts, for accountability, for your attention, for your voice, for your hello, for your welcome, for you. So you have to become the brand, the voice that someone would want. So depending on your message and the more specific you get, if you're able to solve a specific problem someone's dealing with, not that they can't find it online, but it just helps to have a voice to be able to ask and answer questions. Well, teaching online is not the same as teaching in person. This is true, but it's okay. And it actually gives you a way bigger boost of confidence by teaching online because it's more challenging. In some ways it's easier, in some ways it's not, but it's also a great way that you can meet people from all around the world that you would never have come across. And the last thing that I want to talk about is your equipment. I don't have the right equipment. I can't do this. I don't have all the fancy technology, or I'm waiting so I can get a better microphone. The truth is, you just need a cell phone. And if you have, usually if you have like an iPhone 11 or the latest and greatest other kinds of phone, this is an iPhone 5. This would probably work just fine. This is an old one. But if you have a cell phone, you have all you need. You can upgrade later, but I would say you have to get started and start earning money and making income before investing in all of the fancy technology. Yes, I have a microphone that works amazingly, but you don't need that. Most spaces, as long as it's not too much echo, like my yoga studio, as long as there's not too much echo, like here at my apartment, this is fine. As time goes on, you can upgrade. What I have is a wireless microphone, so that's audio. To me, that's most important. Remember, you can't teach a yoga class without your voice, but you can teach without video. So your voice is going to be the most important thing. If you have a great camera, that's awesome, but you can't teach without your voice. Lighting is also good if you don't have wonderful window lighting, but that's all things that can come later. You can build a virtual yoga business. You just might need a little help along the way. What I'm showing you next is a little recap of my yoga business map. So this is a little roadmap of how we can formulate our yoga business as a whole. So instead of just believing that we need more Instagram followers or that we need to work on more video recordings before we do certain things, this is that path. So the path starts with finding a problem to solve, defining your niche, getting clear on who you're serving, knowing your solution is you and all of your experience, your stories, all of that. And then from there, creating the products and the services that keep building on each other. The first one being a small price offer like your virtual yoga classes, or maybe it's a class package or recordings, into maybe some bigger courses or trainings or memberships and subscriptions. And also at the same time working to build an email list so that that can be your main marketing tool rather than feeling like you have to spend so much time on social media. Let's get off of social media. Let's just do that. And maybe not totally, but let's avoid being on there as much as we think we need to be, because the truth is you are not a social media influencer, and I don't want you to be, because that is not what a yoga teacher is. You can get really caught up with the latest social media trends, a lot of posting, a lot of things that aren't actually connecting with your students. So it's creating those programs and classes for your students and working with them is what we're really trying to do. So what does that look like a little bit deeper, a little bit more as a whole, is to solve a problem and offer something small to them, and then building that base of people working with you in classes or through your workshops or mini courses. You could then offer a membership, a subscription, a course, a coaching program, a training, private lessons, that kind of stuff. So the marketing is something that we work on later, but we really work towards inviting one by one rather than feeling like we have to be posting to the masses. not what we're trying to do. So I want to just tell you, if you leave with just one takeaway, one thing, it's to earn money like a business, you need to treat yoga teaching like a business. So building those business foundations and making a plan rather than just throwing social media posts out there and hoping that something will come from it. So you have a choice. You can do it the DIY way or the VVA way. So if you do it the do-it-yourself way, the DIY way, you're going to spend a lot more time doing research, figuring things out. You might be asking a lot of questions to maybe the right or the wrong places and hoping that someone who knows a little something about what you're asking will give you a little bit of advice. When you have someone there to help you and hold your hand through that in a coaching program or a course, your time is cut in like half or less. So it's so much better to have someone or a place where you can go that you know that you're getting the information that you need, which is the VVA way, which is Virtual Vinyasa Academy. So that's my course and coaching program, and you get personalized feedback. That is where I spend most of my time inside that group answering questions. I no longer answer questions in other random people's groups. Even my own free group, I will rarely get into the exact how-to or the nitty-gritty step-by-step. That's all inside Virtual Vinyasa Academy in my coaching program. So if you're ready to start earning money like a business and start teaching yoga online and gain the confidence to actually get out there and show up for your students, then Virtual Vinyasa Academy might be for you. It is open right now. This is likely the last time that I'm going to be opening up Virtual Vinyasa Academy to the public like this. If you are interested in joining, now would be the time. And what exactly is this? It's a course and a coaching program for yoga teachers and future yoga teachers, so even if you are in a training, who want to be in business for themselves and make money through teaching yoga. I created this program after attending a lot of yoga trainings across the world, and I've been full-time yoga teacher for 8 years. Yes, it's very much possible, and no, you don't have to teach 20 classes a week. I've also led multiple 200-hour yoga teacher trainings. I own and manage a yoga studio, and I've instructed over 4,000 or 5,000 classes, a lot of yoga classes. I've also invested a lot in business development. As soon as I knew that I wanted to break out on my own as a yoga teacher and start diversifying my income, I dove really deep into business development, and I hired the right coaches at the right time to help me with that. You can successfully start an online yoga business. You just might need a little bit of help to get there. Just think about how much faster you could do this with mentorship, proven systems, and accountability, and people that have your back and can give you the feedback that you need. So Virtual Vinyasa Academy, it's a 12-week online course. Actually, it's a self-paced online course that involves 12 weeks of group coaching from start to finish, but the 12-week coaching does not end there. I actually continue coaching you. So it's basically like a membership, ongoing membership without the monthly fee. So when you join, you get access to the Academy content right away, our private accountability group, and a bunch of bonuses. So enrollment is now open. Let me help you get started to showing up with confidence for your yoga students. Let me show you what's inside of Virtual Vinyasa Academy and what you're going to learn, just so that you have a better idea. You'll learn about how to find clarity in your yoga business. And if you've downloaded this workbook, again, I'm going to bring this up. This is an example of what I provide. So it's video lessons and workbooks, and also just helpful recommendations and tools to get you started. So you'll have lessons in finding clarity, goal setting, knowing your numbers. So if you think you don't have an audience, let's actually take a look at that. And also have that yoga business plan framework for you and a how-to guide on that. We'll have live stream yoga membership section where I teach you how to build a membership and stream your yoga classes. There's a module on YouTube, getting started on YouTube, how to monetize on YouTube, and how to create affiliate marketing through YouTube or other social media channels. But affiliate marketing is a really fun topic, and I enjoy talking about it. I've created like a little mini course inside of this about affiliate marketing. And then we've got yoga business basics. This is like starting an LLC. What are the essential tools that I need? What's a DBA? What is what banking, money, books, finances, what do I do? So I talk about music licensing, liability, insurance, waivers, time management tips, and a whole lot more to help you with that like business foundation. In yoga teacher training, you only are required to have 1 hour of business training, and you maybe covered a few of these topics, but we go into it a little bit more in depth. I also share with you how to build an online course and digital products. Now, I'm not going to go super in depth on online courses. Like this is not a course to teach you how to build online courses, but it's an overview. I do give you a sales page template. I share with you the ins and the outs of how to develop a course, but it's not an extensive training. There are some really great courses for course building, but this is just a really basics and gets you started so that you don't feel overwhelmed. I also go pretty in depth in building a yoga website, and I am more versed in WordPress. So you're going to get a lot of WordPress tutorials. However, I don't say that you shouldn't build on Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or all those other places. Those are great. I just happen to have experience in WordPress, which is a little bit more time consuming and not as user friendly, but it is a very powerful platform, and I'm excited to share with you how to make it a little bit easier in a step-by-step way. And it integrates with a lot of other things. So I'm teaching you how to build like the best kind of website, which is a WordPress site, because it can integrate with so much and there's a lot of functionality. It's going to take a little bit of time, and this could be a full-blown course in itself. So take this step by step, or just take some of the pieces and use the basics to get started on your website. And the last thing that I go through is marketing and social media. You'd think this would be like the very first thing, right? No, this is later on. I really focus more on email marketing and sharing with you how to take people from your social media channels and bring them into your email list, which is something that can't get taken away from you. Social media can, disappear. Someone could kick you off Instagram, or your YouTube account could get shut down, but no one can take your email list from you. And it's one of those most personal ways to reach your audiences through email. Of course, I'll also share with you an introduction to Facebook and Instagram and a few other channels, just so that you're familiar with how to work them. And the most exciting thing that I love to share is how to do graphic design. And that's something that I know a lot of people have questions about. So I share with you how to create cover art, how to simply create a PDF that's going to help your audience, how to make a schedule, how to design things in a very fast and efficient way. It's less important that you're designing fancy graphics and more important that you're talking to your students and sharing with them the tips, the tools, the ways to help them with the problems that they're having. So rather than getting too caught up with the art and the design of what you think you should be doing, which is what I did for a very long time, and it held me back. It's called creative procrastination, when you dive into the creation process and you don't realize that that time could be better spent talking to your students and inviting to classes. So I really put a focus on inviting and connecting over trying to design fancy things. But let's talk about beyond the course and academy itself, what is included. So you also get access to my membership so that you can see the ins and the outs of how a membership works, and also you can take some classes with me if you really want to, but it just gives you that behind the scenes. It's my recorded class library. I do live streaming classes, and you can see how it all works. And it's typically $49 a month. So for a year access, it's $588, which is not what you pay, by the way. Bonus number 2 is private group support. So that Facebook group is something that I am in all the time. It's my favorite place to be. I provide accountability, a like-minded community. All of us are in this together. And I also make a lot of tutorials by request. And then the last thing you'll get, and I talked about this, is group coaching. So 12-week jumpstart calls starting October 11th. All the calls are recorded, so it's okay if you can't make it. And also ongoing calls. So I don't stop after 12 weeks. We actually keep going. It's just the 12-week jumpstart's going to lead you through the course in specific topics and areas that we're going to talk about. You'll get to preview any new content or courses that I'm working on. I also have office hours, which is really neat, it's just a way for me to hop on to Zoom typically and say, hey, I've got office hours. Click this link if you want to jump in. If you have questions, I'll be here for a couple hours. If no one hops on, I'll just continue doing my work as I do. But it gives you an opportunity to like basically knock on my door and say, hey, could you help me with this? So I do provide office hours too. So all of that, so additional value on top of the course, an additional value of $3,000. You can get started for as little as $108 today for instant access to the course and to start your group coaching with us. So if you sign up today, there is a 14-day zero risk refund policy. So if it's not for you, and if you find out after a few days or a couple of weeks, up to 14, that it's not the right time or this isn't what you expected, hopefully I've given you a good overview here. But if it's not what you expected, then just let me know and we can refund you, no problem. So if you want instant access to the course, unlimited course updates, group support, live training calls, and endless awesome, sign up today. Do not wait because registration is limited, and I also am going to close registration very soon so that we can get started and I can get to know you and get to know the group coming in. So I'm very excited for that. But anyway, don't wait. So the two pricing options are $108 for 6 months, or you can pay in full for $597. The only thing different with the $597 is you do save some money. You save about $50, and you also get a one-on-one call with me, and that can be scheduled at any time that works for you within these 12 weeks of coaching together. So you get one-on-one call with me in addition to the online course, my virtual studio, bonuses, accountability group, training calls, Q&A, all of that. So to get started, you would go to ashesyoga.com/VVA to enter your information, and then you're in the group and you've got access to the content. You get the course, coaching, community, all the good stuff. And this is where I'm going to leave you and say thank you so much for watching this training. If you couldn't tell at the very end, my son had woken up from his nap a little bit too early, so I wasn't able to completely finish the recording. So I'm adding this actually a few hours after he's already gone to bed later at night, and just gonna add this audio clip in there. Things like this is also what I teach inside Virtual Vinyasa Academy. If you struggle with technology or any of the sort of video, audio, technological things, I am there for you, and I would love to help you through that process. From virtual yoga classes to course building to memberships to trainings and beyond, we are going to work together to create the yoga business that you've always dreamed of. So thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you inside Virtual Vinyasa Academy. Oh, somebody smells. Oh man, you stinky.